stands for you. This is a CBS Local 2 News update.
Good morning, I'm Tom Tucker. Time now is 8:25. An earthquake rocked the valley at just after 1 o'clock this morning, 1:04 to be exact. The quake was a magnitude 5.2. The epicenter was 13 miles northwest of Borrego Springs in San Diego County, which is also 16 miles southwest of La Quinta. It was strong enough to be felt throughout Southern California. The quake happened along the San Jacinto Fault, historically the most active fault in Southern California. A lot of aftershocks, hundreds, in fact, of small aftershocks, but the most significant aftershocks, 8 of them were 2.5 or greater in the same general area. The strongest aftershock at magnitude 3.5, the most recent aftershock at 4:15, with roughly the same epicenter as the main quake. Now, this morning's quake registered strongly on a seismograph in Los Angeles at KABC. This seismograph recorded all the action here. You can see that pin moving pretty steadily there, up and down. Of course, as you know, a seismograph is an instrument that measures and records quakes, taking in factors such as force and duration. We talked to Dr. Nancy Mole, a geology professor at College of the Desert, back in April after a magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck in Ecuador. Mole says the Coachella Valley is in moderately good shape when it comes to building safety, with what she calls relatively modern construction, with most buildings 1 or 2 story. But she says propensity for quakes here in the valley, along with hot weather in the summer, means preparedness is essential.
Having a major earthquake here could be fairly devastating. Make sure you've got water, food, medicine, pet food if necessary. Have a communication plan, which it's best to have somebody outside the area, well outside the area that everybody's supposed to call to.
Mole warns the San Andreas Fault is capable of generating a quake magnitude 8 or greater. Again, this morning's earthquake was on the San Jacinto Fault. Now, memories of the Landers earthquake are still very vivid for those who lived through that quake. That 7.3 magnitude quake struck just before 5 o'clock that Sunday morning, June 28, 1992. The shaking lasted for 2 to 3 minutes. Damage around the epicenter was severe as roads buckled and buildings collapsed. 3 people died, 2 from heart attacks. More than 400 people were injured. The Landers quake triggered a separate 6.5 earthquake more than 50 miles away in Big Bear hours later. When this quake struck in Landers, 5 different fault lines ruptured. Roads buckled in a number of locations. And 2 months before that Landers quake, a 6.1 magnitude quake struck Joshua Tree. Hey, look, today's weather forecast is coming up after the break.